We're going to go up to Metroplex Ardmore. We got some 15 pro athletes, legends, new upcomers, and everything in between. And we're going to crush it up there. So it's going to be a perfect field trip with the team. So we were there a couple of weeks ago. And we had a really good experience and can't wait to be back. You know, their hospitality is second to none, and this is what we live for.
What's the main mission here?
Always the main mission is to, explain that we got the open doors, how we come together with old friends and new friends. We are doing stuff together. That's the whole point. We're not just sitting home alone, eating chicken and rice, thinking about biceps and triceps and big trophies. We're getting together is the important part. It's kind of like living life to the fullest. My role together with the inner team with Gasp and Better Bodies is actually to show how important that is and bring people together from all around the world. As an example, we just have Tom here in the background. He's here in the US competing. He's from Australia.
25 hours it took me to get here. A long, long way to go.
And he didn't know us. He just had some friends who's been here before with us and just told him, like, your week in between your shows, you need to go to destinations, say hi to MJ and the team. MJ will hook you up and make you feel part of the family. And that's what we're creating now. So he get to ride with the legends here like Branch, Johnny. He got to meet people like Darwin.
The environment changed everything. This has always been an amazing environment for the last 4 years.
Yeah, I think like we all help each other to grow, come out of our shell. Or when I met Darwin the first time, we had a hard time communicating because I didn't know his language. He didn't know Swedish, and the English was a little bit
Horrible, I know.
no, it was limited. We could make us understand each other anyway, and of course our love for bodybuilding and everything make us understand each other. So even if we are diverse, we're very like-minded.
Just take the risk, not be shy, communicate, talk to people, enjoy, live the present. You don't know if you can do that tomorrow, so you should be grateful and do it.
On the same subject, I just talked to Sean here. I haven't seen him in a bit, and I just said to Sean, like, good work, traveling the world. He's been super busy, living in a suitcase here for a couple of months, and he's been in Sweden and Europe, like in the US, a little bit like everywhere. And he said, yeah, it's so important to be out there networking and meeting people and making sure that make your circles bigger and bigger and not staying at home and just thinking about the next workout. That is not what it is to be a pro. A pro is to live life to the fullest in all aspects, make your circles bigger, and not just looking life out of a straw for a trophy. You should do the trophy and everything else. It's not an excuse to be single-minded and just make your circle small just because you're going for a trophy.
I've been fucking this up lately, dude.
Yeah. That's the easy way out. And it could be a regrettable way as life progresses and we do some bad life choices that doesn't help us to feel that we live life to the fullest. When we go out, we want to go out with a bang and say like we did it all,
Before we met, we knew each of us, like, we wanted a gym. And at the time I lived in Dallas or Arlington, I was training at the OG Metroplex, and she lived in Odessa. So when we moved up to Ardmore, we had a few different gyms that we could go to, but her and I like to compete. And I looked at her and I said, I really want to stay in Ardmore. I don't want to move back to Dallas, but if we stay here, like, we've got to build a gym. That's the only way that we're going to do anything. Well, at first we were just going to build up a couple shops and build a private gym for ourselves, like private training facility. And then I get talking to Aaron Sparenberg, and all three of us collectively just kind of said, no, let's just, we had enough people pushing on us to like build something bigger. So we're like, let's build this thing. And of course, the first 20 iterations of trying to get approved for anything when you're just walking in with a business plan and a dream, so we took about a year and a half or so, 2 years, and saved up every penny, every side job, everything we could do. And then we were able to put a massive down payment down and get funded. And then the owner of the building, though, James Thompson, this guy's been all the special touches in here, these little weights, these lights. This guy,
handcrafted.
Yeah, this guy was so cool. He goes, there's a lot of gyms in Ardmore. And I said, but not a real gym. He's like, what's a real gym? So he starts Googling and YouTubing what a real gym is. We're going to put these lights in here. We're going to paint these walls black. We're going to put diamond plate everywhere, concrete bars. We're like, James, he gets the assignment. And so literally 1 year ago, well, September of 23, we started building it. We opened it May 4th of 24, so it's been just a little over a year. We've expanded inside, we've expanded outside. We're getting ready to expand another 4,000 square foot over. This city, which we didn't know what to expect. You know, Ardmore, you know, it's 30,000 people. We didn't know how this gym would be accepted. And then all of a sudden, it's turned out to be just this
community hub.
Yeah, just a community of just awesome people who embrace this as much as we do and are really truly learning like how to push their body and push their limits.
No, it's been the most eclectic group of people. Like we truly have just every version of any person, like every starting point we have. You know, people who are brand new, this is the first time they've ever called a gym a home. We call it the Oklahoma gumbo. Like there's so much just random stuff like thrown into a pot, and it's like the more you let it simmer, the more it cooks, the more random you toss in there, just the better and more wholesome it gets. But truly, it's a whole entire community of people just finding what health and fitness looks like on them. You know, we remind them all the time, like, listen, it isn't just a one way. It's not just, you know, chicken and rice. It ain't just bodybuilders. But, you know, you can come in here and find what health looks like on you. You know, hardcore to us just means serious about your goals. And it's just been so dope watching a whole entire community just transform and change. Like every single person in here has undergone something, whether it's just mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, just integrity building. Like it has just been awesome. Like I'm telling you, people are going to come to Ardmore and wonder what was in the water. So
and it's nice too, you know, we get support from, you know, guys like Branch and Johnny and Johansson, you know, just guys who see and feel the vision and who have things going on of their own, but they're willing to pick up, you know, and bring their athletes out to train at our facility, which is, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours away. But, you know, knowing that we do have something really cool and special here, and they're willing to like come up here and be part of that too, has been pretty awesome. So having support from the pros and Gasp and Better Bodies and the OG Metroplex and Dobson and all his guys. I mean, we just, you know, we don't feel like we're on an island. I mean, we have tons of support from the people in this town, but even tons of people outside this town. It's just been awesome. All I can say is God is good, and we have just been blessed by every single person that walks through that door.
people are going to know what Ardmore, Oklahoma is.